So welcome to another episode in Paul's Asian Adventure, or Pa like I like to call it, but not Grandpa, okay? In this episode, I wanted to talk about the psychology of Filipina women and what their end games are. Or basically, where do all Filipinas end up? So I wanted to talk about the 5 end games of Filipinas in the Philippines. This is of course related to the end games with expats. But before I get into their end games, I wanted to touch on some psychology that pertains to all women, whether they realize it or not, whether they are from the East or from the West. It's basically ingrained in their DNA, their limbic brain, in other words. So let's start with the state of the marketplace in the Philippines. By the marketplace, I'm talking about the sexual marketplace or the sexual market value of the person, and also the intersexual dynamics here in the Philippines. One of the most important criteria selection for women is, of course, hypergamy or their hypergamous nature. By this, I mean that they always date up, financially and or social stature, as well as looks to a certain extent. As an example, an average woman who, let's say, is a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 is typically only dating a guy 7 or above, till the day her options run out and she utters those famous words, "I'm ready to settle down." Typically that is in their late 20s and 30s. Then maybe she will date someone around her 5, but that's because she is forced to. It's not because she wants to. Of course, as we know, in the West, females are doing great on the financial side. And so your marketplace value as a man making an average wage is severely diminished compared to, for example, your forefathers, when women stayed at home and had little to no earning power. In the Philippines, women are, of course, hypergamous, the same as everywhere else in the world. Like I said, this is ingrained in every woman's DNA. The advantage for an expat in the Philippines are twofold. The first is the financial. Your average salary from the West would be considered what we call rich here. The second important point is that age gap relationships with expats are for the most part not frowned upon, as they are in the West. As an example, if you're under 50 or just around 50 and you take care of yourself and your girlfriend, let's say, is in her 20s, she, not you, will be considered very lucky. The opposite, of course, is in the West. The third point that helps you as an expat is that typically the social stature of your girlfriend will increase when dating a foreigner. So, a quick summary. For women in the Philippines dating an expat, she gets better finances, better social stature. So, in essence, you as a man fulfill her hypergamous needs. Most men are looking for a fertile, some people would use the term young, healthy, in other words, fit and compliant woman. It does not matter what age you are as a man, most men seek the same thing. So women in their 20s will have many suitors and will get lots of attention. Basically, women in their 20s are at their highest SMV, again, that's sexual market value, while most men in their 20s are almost at their lowest SMV. So for some women, this can sound good, but can lead to a bitter downfall. As time passes, SMV declines slowly till it hits the proverbial wall. Then it falls off a cliff, especially here in the Philippines, because women do not take care of themselves the way they do in the West, and that is not their fault. It's basically a lack of resource, a lack of good food, and a lack of exercise. Given all the factors mentioned, there are 5 ways this can play out here in the Philippines. It's important for you as a man to understand which phase the woman you are chasing is in, so you understand her true motivations, even though she might not even understand it herself. First endgame that both Filipinas and expats hope to fall in is, of course, meeting a feminine, fertile, and compliant woman that has a low body count and is looking for marriage or a long-term relationship. Not for the security of the financial as the primary, but for the security of the relationship as the primary reason. Most of these girls want a wholesome family, so are looking to have children with the expat. These women exist in abundance here in the Philippines. The other categories I cover are actually the women that many expats end up with. So the next type of woman you might meet in the Philippines is, of course, the single mother. These women are statistically becoming a larger and larger part of the Philippines, I'm sorry to say. However, a single mother here in the Philippines is not always by choice. These girls might have been in a serious relationship, but once she got pregnant, the man decides to leave. This actually happens a lot. There are many reasons for this, but I will not get into that. That's a topic for another video. If the woman you are chasing is a single mom still in her lower 20s, she can still demand a high price, especially if she's good looking. By high price, I mean she will look for a younger guy with good financial means. However, the younger guys with financial means, especially the the younger expats, have many, and I mean many options here in the Philippines. So if you are willing to take on the seed of a different man, in essence, use your time and resources and hard-earned cash to further another man's DNA, then this deal will actually be a really good deal for you. Another type of woman you will meet is the woman who has hit the wall, or is close to hitting the wall, and has been riding the carousel and is now looking to settle down. Those famous words. These women could also be a single mother with several different dads, or being lucky enough not to get pregnant. They are often referred to as the village bicycle. They are the second most undesirable women to date for an LTR or marriage. They will have a hard time bonding and really falling in love. Yes, they will always say, "I love you," but those words mean actually nothing. You have to see her actions and not her words. These women, for the most part, do not understand how much their SMV has declined. They typically want a new price for a very hard-ridden bicycle. These women are very commonly found in the big cities such as Cebu City, Manila, but they're also found in abundance in places such as Dumaguete and other places that there are ample abundance of expats. Another type of women you will find in abundance in the cities are the scammers, of course. These are the women who have learned to play on men's vulnerabilities, to be the save-a-hoe type of person. All men have that trait built in, the knight in shining armor. However, most of us, by the time we reach 30, have learned to not let women exploit this. Having said that, it is a trait ingrained in us, and it's very easy to fall back on. And women use this to trap men. These women tend to do fine in life and somehow manage to entrap a man or several men into either LTRs or marriage, since they have learned several of men's weaknesses and will exploit them to the max. They are extracting every advantage of a man until they suck him completely dry, or they might stay with him while having fun on the side, extracting as much resources as possible. The last, and of course least desired, are the bar girls. As it has been said many times, you can take the girl out of the bar, but you can never take the bar out of the girl. These girls are beyond repair. Any man ending up with one of these girls will have a life of disappointment, unfaithfulness, depletion of resources, and major headaches in the future. So these are basically the end games for almost all Filipino women that are dating expats. Pick your poison carefully. And remember, you are the commodity here, so don't come here with a Western mindset. Bring your confidence and don't put up with bad behavior. My saying, and I've heard many people say this, hire slowly and fire quickly. That should be your motto here in the Philippines. So, thank you for watching another episode of Paul's Asian Adventure. And if you have made it this far, please share, because sharing is great and sharing my videos is wonderful. Also, if you would, subscribe, and like. Thank you, and see you on the next one.